All right, guys. Second lesson, 4.2.4. We're talking about if two events are both going to happen. So these are called unions, intersections, and complements. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start with a casino game called roulette. So there's this ball that gets dropped into this wheel, and it spins around and around. It lands in these different numbered spots, and some of them are red and some of them are black. You should have a piece of paper that has one that has this on it and one that has this on it. So if you're looking at it, okay, you have that one as a full page, and then you have this one as a full page. If you want to double check real quick, the 1, the 3, the 5, the 7, the 9, the 12, the 14, the 16, the 18, the 19, the 21, the 23, the 25, the 27, the 30, the 32, the 34, and the 36 are all reds. They are like shaded in darker. It didn't print off very well. You can't really see, but all those are all the red colors. Obviously, you can place like money. You can bet on these different like numbers. But you can also do these different things. And so we're going to kind of talk about that and talk about some probability things. All right, so if we're looking, very first thing, okay, we're going to look at 487. Okay, so we're looking at what the different chips stand for. So when you're looking at it, okay, so if we're looking at 487, so the sample space for one spin is we're going to be getting, when we spin the wheel, okay, when we spin the wheel right here, okay, we're going to get something between, we're going to get either 0, 0, 0, or we're going to get 1 up through 36. Okay, so that's our sample spaces. Now, are the outcomes equally likely? Yeah, everything has an equal chance of showing up on the exact same thing. So that's what's saying, how we can tell if things are going to be equally likely or not. Okay. Now, it says a subset is the things that can possibly happen. Okay. So chip A, okay, chip A is, if we're looking at it, is just the probability that we're going to put that a 30 is going to roll up. That's it. Okay. So it's the probability of just getting a 30. Okay. And so now the probability of that, okay, there's only one number 30, and there's 38 spots total, right? There's 1 through 36 plus 0 and double 0. Okay, so I want you to try to make a list of what's the possible things you think you're going to be able to get. Okay, so you're going to try B, you're going to try C, you're going to get D, you're going to get E, F, G, H, I, J, and K. Okay, so you can try it, or you can just listen to C. All right, so chip B, okay, if we're looking at it, chip B is right, where is it? Right here. So that's between 22 and 23, and so we win if we spin a 22 or 23. Well, there's two of them, so that's a 2 out of 38 chance. Okay, chip C, if you're looking, is right here, and so this one means that you win if you spin a 4, a 5, or a 6. Okay, and so that's a 3 out of 38 chance. Chip D, okay, so where's chip D? Is right here. It's touching all 4 of these, so you win if you get a 7, an 8, a 10, or an 11. So that's 4 out of 38. Okay, chip E, okay, if we're looking at chip E, is going to be if anything in these 2 rows right in here, because it's right there in the line between them. So if you put a chip on E, okay, you win if you get a 13, a 14, a 15, a 16, a 17, or an 18. So that's a 6 out of 38 chance. F is the probability that we get in the first 12 numbers, right? So we're going to land anywhere between 1 and 12. And so that's obviously 12 numbers, so it's 12 out of 38. G, okay, G is down here. So if we get anything in this row right here, okay, so we win if we get a 2, a 5, an 8, an 11, a 14, a 17, a 20, a 23, a 26, a 29, a 32, or a 35. Okay, there's 12 numbers, so that one's 12 out of 38. Okay, H, okay, is the probability that we get the reds. So it's all these ones that are circled now. That's the probability that we get a red. Okay, it's half the numbers. Okay, and so it's half of the 36 numbers. And so that's 18 out of 38. Okay, I, okay, is just the odd numbers, right? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. And so there are 18 odd numbers out of the 38. Zeros don't count either way. J is 1 through 18, so obviously it's just the numbers 1 through 18, and so that's an 18 out of 38 chance. Okay, now K, if we're looking here, it's on this line and this line, so if you get a 0, a double 0, a 1, a 2, or a 3, you win. So that's a 5 out of 38 chance. Okay, so just kind of figure out what those things are going to make. So if we're looking here now, 48. So some roulette players like to play 2 or more bets at the same time. So somebody places a chip on the event 7, 8, 10, 11. Okay, so they put it right here where D is. Okay, they also place in another chip on 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so maybe they put it like right in here. So they've bet on these 4, but then also these 6. Okay, so what numbers are going to allow him to see when we win both bets? Okay, we want to win from both of them. Well, where do they overlap? They both overlap at 10 and 11. So the ways that we win is if we get a 10 or an 11. Okay, so then the probability that we get a 10 or an 11, okay, is 2 out of 38. Okay, the probability that it lands on a number that's in both, it's called the intersection. Okay, when it lands in both, what's going to cause us to win both things? Okay, intersection usually means means both. Okay, when placing 2 different bets, most players are just hoping they will win one or the other. Okay, that's called betting on the union. Okay, that's called the or. We just want one or the other. Okay, so if we're looking at this, so the probability of winning either the bet, the 7, 8, 10, 11, or the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, which numbers are going to allow us to win both? Okay, well, obviously, if we get a 7, we get an 8, we get a 10, an 11, a 12, a 13, a 14, or a 15. Okay, that's the probability we win both, right? Because as long as it's one of those things, and if it's a 10 or 11, obviously we win twice. Okay, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 8 out of 38 is that probability that we're going to win. Okay, so now calculate the probability of the union. So, or we're going to get in the first column. So the first column, okay, is all these right here. So what's the probability we get in here or the second 12? Okay, so that's 13 to 24. Okay, so what's the probability that we get into here or here? Well, obviously the numbers that we're going to have that are going to win are going to be 1, 4, 7, 10. All of these, okay, and all of these, right? And so we can just count. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, there's 20 choices out of 38. Now I could say list out all the probabilities they're going to win, but that's just going to be a pain, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, C is saying somebody has a chip in 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and another on reds. Okay, what's the probability of the union of these events? Okay, so the probability of 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, okay, is right in here, okay, or the reds, okay? So let's start. The reds, there's 18 of them, right? They're all spread all around, right? So there's 18 reds, okay? Plus, we could also win if we get that one, and that one, right? So it's 18, 19, 20. There's 21 possibilities that we would win if we get, okay, these guys plus a red. So now explain your method, okay? What I probably did is I just added them. I counted, right, to be able to get to those right numbers, and that's completely valid. Okay, so now looking at 91, Viola described the method. She's like, when I looked at the probability of two events, I knew they would include all of the numbers in both events, but sometimes saw the numbers might be counted twice. So instead of just counting up all the outcomes, I added the two individual probabilities together and then subtracted the probability of the overlapping events. Okay, so for 489. So we just counted. There was 8 possibilities. Okay, but what she is saying then is she took the probability that we'd be in here, which was 4 out of 38. We added this probability, which is 6 out of 38, but then took out where they overlapped, which was the 10 and 11. So she did 4 out of 38 plus 6 out of 38 and took away 2 out of 38 and got the same answer. Do you think that's going to work? Okay, and yeah, it does. It's always going to work. Okay, and we're going to talk about that, and that is called the addition rule. Okay, that is called the addition rule. So, the addition rule is this right here, super duper important. Make sure that you've got it written down on that handout. Okay, the probability of saying A or B is the probability that A is going to happen plus the probability that B is going to happen minus the probability that A and B happen. Okay, this is where they overlap. Now, you can also write it in symbols. Okay, you can write it with the word union and intersection, but it's also probability of A union B is the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A and B. This symbol right here means and. It means intersection. Okay, so now we're going to find out a player places a chip on 1 through 18 and another on the reds. Okay, and we want to figure out, when are they going to win either or. Okay, so 1 through 18 or a red. Okay, so we want to go 1 through 18 is all of these, okay, up through 18, or a red. So there's 18 here, and then plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 18 plus 9 is 27 out of 38. Okay, well now we could also do the probability of red plus the probability of 1 through 18 minus the probability of a red and 1 through 18. So the probability of red is 18 out of 38. The probability of 1 out of 18 is 18 out of 38. But the probability of red and 1 through 18, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 reds that are there. So then we take away 9 out of 38. 18 plus 18 is 36. 36 minus 9 is 27 out of 38. Same answer both ways, and it really doesn't matter how you do it. It's going to work out the exact same thing. Okay, that probability, okay, it ends up coming out to be about a 71% chance that you would win at least something. Okay, now if we look at putting something, who puts on G and I? Okay, so we want to figure out putting it on G. Okay, so G was this whole line right here. Okay, I was just the odds. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to try to figure out, okay, what's the probability of G and I? So I want to win both bets. I want to find out where is there an odd in here. Okay, well, there's an odd in here at 5, 11, 17, 23, 29, 35. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 out of 38. Okay, well now the probability of G or I, right? Well, the probability of G, okay, is probability of G. So G, we said G was that column, okay, which is 12 out of 38. The probability of I was saying odds, so plus 18 out of 38, and then take away where they overlap, which was 6 out of 38. So that's 30 minus 6, that's 24 out of 38. Obviously, it's a lot better if you put it on just winning one or the other. If you're saying we have to win both, it makes it a little bit tougher. Okay, so there's only 6 things that work for G and I. G or I, there's 24 things that will work, right? We want to go all of these will give us a win plus any of the other odds. So plus 1, 3, 7, 9, 13, 15, 19, 21, 25, 27, 31, 33. Okay, if you put up both, okay, so if you put up both and you're on G and I and you're betting the or, right, we did here. If you're betting the and, it's going to be there. All right, so now going through, we put it on G. Okay, what's the probability that he's going to lose? So if he puts it on G, right, we're saying here. Okay, so there's 12 ways that he's going to win. Okay, which means if there's 12 ways he's going to win, there are 26 ways that he's going to lose. There's a 26 out of 38 chance that he's going to lose. Okay, so how did you do that? So think about which way. Okay, what you could do is you could count up, okay, the number that make you lose, okay, or, okay, you could take the probability of of winning G is 12 out of 38, and you could do 1 minus 12 out of 38, and that gives you 26 out of 38. Okay, so the probability that of not getting G is 1 minus the probability of G. You could do it that way. Okay, so sometimes it's easier to figure out the probability something's not going to happen, the probability that it will happen. Okay, that's called the complement. Okay, so if you know it's easy something that will happen, the complement is when something doesn't happen. Okay, so we're spinning this spinner at the right. Okay, and claims she has a good chance of having the spinner land on red at least once in 3 tries. What's the probability the spinner will land on red at least once in 3 tries? Right, so once out of 3 tries. Okay, so you could get, yellow, yellow, yellow. You could get yellow, blue, yellow. You could get yellow, yellow, blue. You could get yellow, blue, blue. You could get blue, blue, blue. You could get blue, yellow, blue. You could get blue, blue, yellow. You could get blue, yellow, yellow. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so there's 8 arrangements, okay, out of 27, right? Because 3 times 3 times 3. So the probability that you lose is 8 out of 27. So then the probability that we win is that complement. So it'd be 1 minus 8 out of 27, which means there is a 19 out of 27% chance that we get a red at least one time. Okay, the reason being, okay, in this case we only had to count 8 different things. Okay, and if we went the other way and try to get all of our possibilities where we get at least one red, that'd be 19. So it's a little bit easier to do the complement in that case. Okay, so now if the probability of an event A is represented as P of A, the complement, right, is you can take it away from 1. So you could go 1 minus the probability of A. All right, so this is a lesson. This kind of walks you through, again, if you want to read these, it makes more sense if you continue these math notes. Okay, talking more about the unions, intersections, and complements is right here. That's really good stuff. You're actually given this formula on the state test to help you remember that, so we'll make sure and give that to you when we have a test. Okay, but this is kind of talking about the complement and the events and things like that. Okay, so you got time to work on some homework now. You guys have got the double. You got 423 and 424. You should have plenty of time. Don't just copy down answers. Get some work done. You can come see one of the teachers, math teachers, with help if you need it. Okay, but hopefully it made sense. You can go back and you can listen to it again. You can ask us questions. Just make sure that you're good with it. Cool? All right, sounds good. See you later.